ちのざわめき愛想笑いの憂鬱本音なんていつかどこか見えないふりだねだって不安なんてそんな言われなくてもわかってる壊したい大事そうに抱えた強がりなんてでも素直になれない迷っても悩んでも君が求めるならせめてこの孤独を痛みを壊して生まれ変わりたい青い空は窮屈に上辺だけを映し出すこの未来をずっとぼやかしてる曖昧につながる世界は深い傷さえ嘲笑うどれくらい苦しめばいいのもう泣けばいいのまた答えが見えない教えて真実を君が知ってるならガラスみたいなことをかけを探すのどんなに暗闇でも君が照らそうとするから蜃気楼みたいな望みを真実しも壊したい大事そうに抱えた強がりなんてでも素直になれない迷っても悩んでも君が求めるならせめてこの孤独を痛みをどれくらい苦しめばいいのもう泣けばいいのまた答えが見えない教えて真実を君が知ってるならガラスみたいなことをかけを探すの孤独を壊して生まれ変わりたい
All right. Hopefully the music is not too loud. But we're here. Hello. Hello everyone. My name is Protagonist. You can call me Protag, and today we're doing like two things, really. I know on the thumbnail or on the title we're opening boxes. We are. Don't worry, they're right here, they're right in front of me. You can there you go. There's some box hitting each other noises. But I also wanted to use this time to also talk about the new cards we're getting in Rush Stools, right? Like, usually I'll make shorts about them, and I probably will do that. I haven't done them in a while. I'm gonna restart them soon, hopefully. But I do want to at least have a separate thing where I can talk about them and, go a little bit more in depth, right? Like, while I am not, while I won't know how good cards are until, we get to see them being more played, being able to talk about what new cards are coming and just kind of, getting a feel about what the future of Rush is going to look like is also just a really good way to, just get people talking about it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to start with that first. I'm a little bit behind. There's definitely been a lot of new cards, so we'll have to talk about them and see what they do. But I'm very excited to kind of just do that. And, as a bonus, I'll be able to use this hopefully as as some smaller videos that I can post separately so that I can have more stuff on my channel as videos on top of that. So that's the plan. That's what we're gonna be trying to do. So without further ado, let's jump right in with the new level 9 Overrush Premium Black card. So if you don't know already, Rush Duel has been doing this thing where, before the full arts, there was the Overrush rares before, and like when the Overrush rares were out, everyone was very excited, but they wanted to take it one step further, right? This is like basically what was in between an Overrush rare and a full art in terms of rarity. This is the Overrush Rare Premium Black version. As you can see here, there is already, a normal version of the level 9, but there's also this very nice alternate art with the black card. Now, people have been saying, like, oh, well, if they're going to use the black card like this, then are XZs not going to, are they not going to exist? And I have no way to answer that question. There's nothing I can say about that. We are way too far away from the existence of any XZs monster in Rush Duels. But it is very cool that they're doing this. I really love the designs. This is, I believe, the 6th, and maybe it's the final Overrush Rare Premium Black, because, or I guess, yeah, well, maybe they'll do something different, but this is the last, this could be the last one because of the fact that this is the last attribute that they've made. They've made one for all the other attributes. The water one was the last one, and now it's here. So this is Exalted Celestial Custodian of the Sacred Summit. Level 9 Water Worm Effect Monster. Worm is an interesting choice. I shouldn't say that it's weird that they made the fox guy a worm. I feel like there have been weirder things that have been called worms before, so we're gonna ignore that part. 2500 attack, 2100 defense is, I think, standard for all of these. I think they all have 2500 attack. I might be wrong there, but yeah, you're not really using them for their stats. It's mainly their effects that you're looking for. If you don't control a face-up Exalted Celestial Custodian of the Sacred Summit, you can pay 500 life points to special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position. This is the first one that we have where you pay 500 to special summon instead of it being a requirement, in the card text. All the other ones, you have to pay 500 life points to activate their effect. This one, instead, you have to pay 500 to summon, which I think is kind of better. All the other ones needing to be tribute summoned or special summoned with another card makes it a little bit costly. But if you could just put this in your deck and not have to worry about a tribute, or if you want to, you can. There's no reason you can't. But yeah, being able to just pay 500 to special summon this out is not terrible when you have the effect of this card can't be destroyed by your opponent's effects and you do not take damage from your opponent's effects. So I'll be honest, there aren't a lot of situations where this would matter. I say this now, but we are getting the news cards, and the news cards do quite a bit of burn damage, so this could be consequential. Obviously, Spark Hearts, if you have Passion Magma on the field, being able to make your Sparks deal 700 damage each turn is not great. That's definitely a painful a painful card when your opponent is able to recycle them and just get them on the field or get them played every other turn. So while I don't see anyone winning just from buffed up Sparks, that's still some damage you'd rather not take. But like, those are the two main, I think, instances of effect damage. Obviously, well, actually no, there's also Denticle. Denticle does burn, but it only happens once per turn. You can't activate it multiple times, so there's no risk of that happening. Worms have already, yes, I know that worms have already existed in Rush, right? Like, we have the constructor worms, like, but what I was saying is that, like, other things have been worms that aren't necessarily like, dragons or lizards and stuff like that, right? I can't think of one off the top of my head. I guess the Sword Souls aren't worms, are they? Maybe they are. I don't remember what the Sword Soul typings are, but yeah, my main point was just saying that, don't be surprised that just because this looks like a wolf, that this is categorized as a worm, because there are definitely non-lizard type things, non-reptile cards, monsters that aren't worms. That's basically all I was trying to say here. So yeah, otherwise, other than that, I think this is just it'll be an interesting card. I don't see this being, well, I don't know. I don't remember too much about what the worm fusions look like. I don't think any of them would care. Destructor worms, I don't think would care about this, but this is just an interesting card to have. We'll have to see if there's anything that synergizes well. Usually, some of these cards get like extra support while within the set as well, right? So like, you know, Molten Marshals were kind of support for Blaze Fint and stuff like that. So hopefully we get to see some of the supporting cards for this and see, you know, what direction we're going with this type of card. But yeah, let's move on to the next thing. Rising Heroes. Yes, so the Rising Heroes got a bunch of new cards as well. Rising Heroes being Rush's hero or exclusive hero archetype, I guess. But they're, I don't know. I find them to be interesting for the fact that, you know, hero decks really still stick with just their hero stuff. I don't think Rising Heroes have really seen a lot of play by themselves. If anything, they do support some of the hero things overall, but regardless, now they're getting a bunch of new cards, so let's see if they can actually stand up and do something and, you know, make a shift in what people play in the hero slots. Yup, I get it. Hello, Millionaire Red 3 or Red Destroyer or Redestroyer. I see. Okay, I can read. You gotta, the things with names is like you gotta see it, then you have to split it up in your mind, and then if you're wrong, you have to go back and being like, all right, what's the actual way to spell it? But yeah, or pronounce it. But yes, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining and listening. Well, hopefully you do learn something from me. Who knows? But yeah, let's start with, yeah, this is the first one. Rising Hero Argent R. Level 3 Light Warrior. This card's name is Rising Hero Argent while in the graveyard. That's perfect. During your main phase, if this card is normal or special summon, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave. Then you can choose a Rising Equip in your grave and add it to your hand. Is Rising Equip? Okay, it is a new card. I was like, that doesn't sound like a card I know. So, alright, that's fine. Milling cards is always good, and then being able to just add Rising Equip it should be good depending on how good the spell or the trap card is. So, we'll have to see. Next up is Rising Unit. This is a level 7 warrior effect monster. Okay, level 7, 2000 2000 attack, 1000 defense. You contribute summon this card in attack position by tribute. Okay, so that makes up for the lack of stats. Okay. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned, choose one level 3 light warrior monster with 1000 defense in your grave, which is basically every Argent hero, and add it to the hand. For the rest of the turn, you cannot attack with monsters except for light warrior monsters. Okay, so so this allows you to get whatever material you might need, especially for I guess your fusion monster, because you need Rising Unit plus any warrior monster with 1000 defense, which you'll be able to get from the Rising Unit. So in case you have some other card that you don't need, you can tribute this on top, get whatever monster, whatever 1000 defense warrior you might need, and then you can fusion summon into your Rising Hero Argent O. Now, why is it called O? I don't really know. Is it Omega? Is it, because like we know that it's an R. There's an R right on its chest. That's clearly what we're looking at. But I don't know if there's going to be other letters. Like what's the purpose of the letter? What does the letter mean? Where were you when I need help with presentations? I used to do some teaching before. I doubt you'll ever find any of those videos, but I like doing presentations. Usually they're a bit more scripted and I have a better guideline of what I'm talking about, but as you can see when I'm kind of just talking off the dome, it's a little bit different. It's definitely not as easy, but you know. Not a teacher, I'm not certified or anything. I just like, you know, the tutoring and things like that. that's the extent of my teaching, right? I used to be a TA back in college and stuff like that, but you know, that was a while ago. We're far past that by now. Anyway, so Rising Hero Argent 0 or O, maybe no, it is O. One warrior monster with 1000 defense plus rising units. During a turn that you have not special summoned a monster. Whoa, wait a second. That kinda sucks. During a turn that you haven't special summoned a monster, you can shuffle this face-up card on your field to your owner's extra deck. Sure. Choose one card on your opponent's field and destroy it. Then you can fusion summon Rising Hero Argent O by shuffling monsters in your graveyard to the deck as material. Huh. So you can't do the thing that I was just talking about. That kinda sucks. You can't special summon. Oh no, you still can. No, you still can because you're adding it to the hand, so you can still normal summon. Never mind. We're still good. We're still good. My bad. I just read the card out loud and it didn't register what I was trying to say. But no, okay. So this does still work. So that is the goal. Your goal is to do this. Use the effect, send this back, and then destroy a monster, and then bring it back, and now you still have your Rising Hero Argent O on the field to be able to attack that turn. That's not bad. Okay. I like that. And then finally, Rising Equip. Now, this is not an equip spell. This is a trap card. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, fusion summon Rising Hero Argent 0 or Rising Hero Argent F. Oh yeah, we do have F, huh? By shuffling light monsters from your field or graveyard to the owner's deck as material, then you can choose one face-up level 8 or lower monster on your opponent's field and destroy it. Is this worth running? A lot of decks nowadays don't really run their in-theme trap cards. Mainly because all the other trap cards, all your other staple trap cards are just kind of better. But is this worth it? I want to say yes, right? You use this off a normal summon and you can fusion summon off rip it from your field or grave. That's not bad. I can definitely see this being a problem, right? Tags out and tags back in. Yeah, exactly. No, it's that this is actually not bad. I was worried. I misread how this worked. Thankfully, you don't special summon off of Rising Unit. It is just back to your hand for then you can then normal summon, which is fine. That's totally fine. I think this is not a bad trap card to have. I think 1 or 2 copies should be okay. I don't know what the trap lineup for Rising Hero specifically is off the top of my head. I haven't really played around with the deck. I definitely will after all this new support comes out, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. If there's any Rising Hero, experts, then they can let me know. But yes. Okay, next up we have Clad Dragondom. These are the new Maiden Abyss-esque type of cards that were recently introduced. They look very cool. I was very happy to kind of see, the juxtaposition, right, between, you got the cute cave explorers and then you have the dangerous and huge, fantastical dragons. If you look at this card in particular, you can see, that's one of the explorers, and then here's the giant ass dragon that they're supposed to, I don't know, fight, dodge. I think they're just they're hunting for treasures. I don't know if they're really going to try and fight this thing. I don't think it's even possible. But yeah, it's a very cool concept. It's definitely something that, I'm excited to try out overall. I mean, I'm going to play all of these decks. It's whether or not I find one that I truly vibe with. Let's see. So this is Lightclad Dragon Lateth. Level 1 Light Worm. So we do have worms. So worms to go with the level 9 worm, that's fine. We'll see if that synergizes or anything, but I doubt it. Usually they don't synergize with any of the big themes. During the turn, this card is normal summon. Choose one Stella, the Clad Dragon Researcher, or one level 9 worm monster in your graveyard and add to your hand. Okay, never mind. I guess we have synergy. There you go. Wow, first card already debunks my theory, which is totally fine. This is Stella. Okay, this is Stella, the Clad Dragon Researcher. During the main phase that this card is normal or special summoned, I can excavate the top cards of your deck and reveal them. Choose one level 7 or higher monster among them and add them to the hand. Place the remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. Not terrible. Your ratio of level 7s is probably not going to be as high. So I don't know how many times you're actually going to hit with this, but maybe you can. Maybe the chances are a bit higher depending on what level 7 monsters you're running. The fact that it's only level 7s is also really interesting here, right? They're not even saying level 7 worms. They're not saying level 7 with X amount of attack or X amount of defense. I'm not saying that this is going to be like generic or anything, but like that's I keep a close eye for stuff like this because of the fact that you can sneak other cards in for stuff like this, right? Like it's the reason why, you know, cards like Berry Fresh, Happiness Harvest gets used in quite a few other decks is because you can destroy any cards, right? It doesn't matter, and then you end up with like a huge attack monster, and you know you're not losing anything because of it, right? And then you can tribute over it after the turn end, stuff like that. It seems pretty good. It's basically Glad Beast effect for Argent Zero. Yeah, I'm actually not too familiar, or like I'm not as well versed, right? Like I'm not as well versed with all the advanced format stuff as I am with, I guess, most of the Rush things, because that's where my main focus is, right? I got into Rush because I didn't find advanced as, I guess, not as interesting. I still watch all the YCSs and stuff like that, but my thing with Rush is just I like the game a lot. I want more people to play it or at least be interested in it and not see it in such a negative light, right? That's the thing. Light Clad Dragon reminds me of Buster Whelp. Yeah. All right, next up we have Shanna the Clad Dragon Researcher. If there are 10 or more cards in your deck, shuffle 2 worm monsters from your graveyard back into the deck. Choose one face-up monster in your opponent's field and change it to face-down defense position. Okay, that's pretty good. Especially for a level 4. Then you can change the top card of your deck, or then you can send the top card of your deck to the grave. If you send a worm monster with 2400 defense to the grave with this effect, then you can add that monster to your hand. What are the chances? Is there a way to forcibly put a worm monster with 2400 defense on the top of your deck so that you can guarantee this effect? Not that I can think of. Not an easy way to do so. Right? Because you don't do anything that does that, right? You excavate and then you put it at the bottom of the deck. Okay, sure. Estelle, the Clad Dragon Researcher. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon, send the top 2 cards of your deck to the grave. Then you can send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If you sent a card from the hand to the grave, then you can choose 1 worm monster with 2400 defense in your grave and add it to the hand. Okay, I mean, this is, I think, just better overall, right? Yeah, because like this is a secondary effect. You don't even have to do this. But you mill 2, which is already good. And then you can send a card from your hand, which is already fine. I think pitching a card to get one of your stronger monsters is never a bad thing. So, yeah, this is a good card for the deck. Then we have Inferno Clad Dragon Flagel? I don't know. Is it Flame Goal? Maybe. I don't know. You contribute some of this card in attack position by attributing 1 worm monster. That makes sense with the stats. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned, if your opponent does not control a face-up monster. That's interesting. Okay. Choose 1 face-down card in your opponent's field and destroy it. For the rest of the turn, you cannot attack with monsters except for worms. Okay, so this deck seems to be, you know, flipping stuff face down, which is actually really fun. One of my favorite cards is Shiny Shady, and Shiny Shady likes to flip monsters face down. Mainly effect monsters, but nonetheless, this could be a deck that I'd be interested in playing because I like the concept. Now there has to be other ways to do this. There needs to be more ways to flip cards face down. There has to be more in-theme ways to do this, I think. Because like these guys don't really. You do, which is fine, but if that's only one, then that's going to be an issue. Verdant Clad Dragon Gree. Send the top card of your deck to the grave. This card gains 800 attack until the end of the turn. If there are no face-up monsters on your opponent's field, then you can choose one face-down card on your opponent's field and shuffle it to the owner's deck. Okay, so now we have a destruction, we have a bounce. That's pretty good. This deck feels easy to grasp, very beginner-friendly. I think so too. I mean, a lot of Rush Duel decks are pretty beginner-friendly. There's not a lot of tough concepts to figure out when it comes to the gameplay of a lot of decks here. I think the toughest ones are probably ones that do a lot of, I think one of the hardest ones to learn is what do I want to say for this? There's a few. I think one of the infamous ones is Celeb Rose. I think the loop of Celeb Rose is one of the toughest to figure out if you're just reading the cards as is. But like once you play them and understand what the loop is, then it becomes a very interesting deck to play. I argue that Celeb Rose is kind of I think we're a little bit off sync here, but yes, as I was saying, Celeb Rose is, I think, a tough deck off rip. But once you play it a lot and like know what cards you need in order to successfully undergo the infamous Celeb Rose loop, then you're probably going to be able to take down a lot of players. Lacking any extra deck and maximums helps it as an introduction. That is true too. The fact that this deck doesn't have any extra deck monsters does make it a lot easier for people to pick up. That is true. Wow, we have a deck that doesn't use an extra deck in the year 2026? That's surprising. I feel like every other deck was a fusion or a hybrid ritual fusion or just rituals. We're finally coming back, where it's not a Monarch deck and it's a deck that doesn't have extra deck monsters. That's crazy. You're right. Oh my goodness, we're finally back. Oh, but would you look at that? Why'd you have to say anything? Why'd you say anything? FC75, what happened? What happened? I scrolled down. Why are there fusion monsters all of a sudden? Oh, this is the worst. It's fine. I'm just messing with you. No, you're good. You're totally good. We'll read those in a bit. But next up, we're gonna look at the Magic-clad Dragon Vezza, Vezel the Star Eater. What a cool name for a dragon, I will say. Vezel the Star Eater. I mean, this looks like someone who would go up and just chomp on a star. I agree. During the main phase, if this card was normal or special summoned, change all face-up monsters on your opponent's field to face down. Okay, so yeah, change everything to face, or all face-up monsters to face on defense position is basically what I was looking for. The fact that there's no other requirement is kind of wild here. I can kind of see this being played in other decks just as a way to turn off continuous, turn off a bunch of other things, but like, look, this is not bad. The fact that this just flips everything face down is kind of scary. I like it. I like it a lot. There's no other requirements for this. This feels like in the future this could be some terrifying generic powerhouse of like, here's some secret tech, play this card, flip your opponent's monsters face down, ignore them, do some weird dark matter shenanigans, or destroy all their face down monsters. There's some weird stuff I feel like that can be done with this. Last time I read these cards was on release. No worries. I'm looking at most of these for the first time too, so don't worry too much about it. It's not on you. This is Light-clad Dragon Egg. This is a worm fusion, needing Stella and one level 4 lower worm monster, which all the non-dragon main decks are, I believe, right? Yeah, so that should be fine. You can contact fuse. That's great. Special summon a level 7 or higher monster from your hand to the field face up. That's really good. If you special summon a monster whose original type is worm with this effect, then that monster gains 800 attack, and it's oh wow, and it gets piercing. So this or this gets piercing. That's what, 33, that's 32. That's pretty good. I'm pretty happy about that. That's a good synergy. I like it. Loot from the Clad Dragon Dump. Send one worm monster in the hand or one face-up worm on your field to the grave. Draw a card and reveal it. Okay. If that card is a worm monster, then you can special summon a level 7 or higher worm monster from your hand to the field face-up. That's kind of great. That's actually really good. You can really get these cards out pretty easily. I can kind of understand why. Okay, so usually when you have a bunch of high-level monsters like these, it's never great to just run full playsets of these, mainly for the fact that if you have no way of removing them, or if they break up your hand, then, you know, it's basically GG's. But there are quite a few ways to get these, to cheat these out from your hand or from your graveyard, which is really good. Maybe this does warrant playing, you know, 9 high-level monsters and not worrying about bricking anymore. Okay. Unfortunately, that effect won't work against maximum mode monsters. True, but I also don't really know of a deck that maximum summons as a main strategy right now. Most decks, like, the closest thing would be Harpies. I know that there's the new news cards. I don't know how good they're going to be. I saw a bit of what their effects were yesterday, but we'll read them today and kind of discuss. But maximums haven't been an issue, if I'm being real, right? Even the Harpy deck before it got its wings clipped, you know, it was not a maximum deck. It was a fusion deck. It was all contact fusions, Harpy Lady 1, 2, 3, onto the field, win game, right? But before then, sure, they played the maximum monster, but even then, they didn't really want to play their maximum monster outright, right? It was usually just swarm the field with your Harpies. If you had the maximum pieces in hand, sure, tribute over them, do whatever. But it was never a focus to get the maximum monster out. So unless they make a good maximum deck, I don't know. They haven't really done a good job on that so far, so we'll see. Alright, and then finally, researching the Clad Dragon Dump. Choose one level 5 or lower worm monster with 900 defense in your grave and special summon it onto your field face up. For the rest of the turn, if you would tribute summon a worm monster in attack position, you can treat that special summon monster as 2 tributes. Okay. Weird that they would make this a card, but cool because, once again, other ways to cheat out your high level. So, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. This is good. Okay, this deck is really interesting. So, yes, they have fusion monsters, but it's only 2. Or no, 1. This is the altar. Never mind. It's only 1 fusion monster. It's not the end of the world. It's really easy to figure out how to get this out. Like, the game plan is really simple. Get your high levels out. If you have the ability to make the fusion monster, great. Other than that, you know, focus on these. Are these strong enough to be good, though? That's the issue that I'm having. Because yes, you can flip all your stuff to face down. Yes, you can get piercing if you summon it off of this card. Yes, you can bounce. Yes, you can destroy. But it's only 1 card each. So you would have to do it multiple times. Can you loop these efficiently enough where you just clear out your opponent's board? Like, is this Necromade Light? Is this Necromade Light without having to ritual summon? Like, what is the plan here? Right? Do you just have to be lucky that you can get your monsters in and out multiple times so that you can clear your opponent's board? It's possible, right? This is a level 7. I don't know if that's gonna matter. Level 7, can you... No, you wouldn't really care about running ship. Level 8... because they're level 7, 8, and 9. You don't even have the same levels to be able to efficiently use any of the generic level draw spells. You can't ship anything efficiently. You can't trade in efficiently. I don't even know if there's a level 9 draw spell. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'll have to think about the deck. But I like the concept. If you can loop these efficiently enough where you can clear the board, it will be annoying as shit. But the attack stats aren't big enough where it would be like too big. The crackback wouldn't be a problem, right? We're not talking about, you know, we're not going up against, you know, some crazy levels of attack value here. So that's the one silver lining if this can efficiently just remove your opponent's entire board. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Next up, we have Parapsychroid, which is one of the one of the magazine ones, right? Yeah, this is one of the promo cards. Okay. Crazy to see a Psychroid, but I guess it makes sense if we're still going through all the GX stuff. Fingers crossed still. I still want to see Cyber Angels at some point, but, you know, we'll see. If it happens, it happens. 2 machine monsters with the same name. This card can attack directly. I mean, sure, whatever. This, I don't think, is really that big of an issue. Would you really waste a fusion to be able to do this? I'm not entirely sure. But, I mean, you could. There's Cyber Dragons, I guess, could use this. I don't know if they can't for some reason make one of their big monsters. Sure, why not? But yeah, that's all that is. Journeying the 3 Magi. So yeah, this is a card. This exists for some reason. None of these guys exist in Rush Duels. But I understand why they're doing this. You know, Animation Chronicles, we're going through the Magistus stuff, so, you know, it makes sense. I get why they're doing this, because it's a cross promotion, but it's really weird seeing these cards. It's like, thank God we cannot normal summon Alistair in Rush Duels, but you know, it's so funny to see these see these guys here and be like, well, we're here, but, you know, not in the way that you really want them to be. Honorary Ancient Gear card? Oh, I guess that's also true too. Yeah, but like the art is really cool. I will say, this is just a really cool art. I'm sure people who play any of these decks or just a fan of the storyline will love to try and get this card. I feel like it's a really nice card. This is I already said the name. Journeying of 3 Magi. During a turn that you have not activated the Journeying 3 Magi, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. Then you can choose a level 4 lower light, dark, or water spellcaster effect monster among them and add it to your hand. That's gross. That's kinda... Okay. Also, I love that if there's any chance people are going to make a mistake and start complaining on Twitter, that Yu-Gi-Oh! Org has to be like, this is a Rush Duel card. This is not a... Just because it has, you know, advanced format guys on here does not mean that this is an advanced format card. Even then, I don't even think it's that strong. I will say, I will always say, one of my biggest gripes is when people are like, oh, they should put this in the advanced format. They should give this to as real support for the cards or for the decks. And it's like, all these cards are weak as shit in the advanced format. Why would you ever want to have this printed for your deck when it does literally a third of what most cards do in the OCG and TCG right now, right? Like, this would be a part 1, or this would be half of a part 1, right? Like, this one line alone would be a half of a part or 3-part effect that you would be able to choose one out of to do once per turn. Right? But like, anyway, this card is very good for Rush Duels though. Right? Light spellcasters, gross for Celeb Rose, dark spellcasters, gross for Seventh Road, Glad Magia, any variant of that. What the fuck do we have for water spellcasters? What do we do for water spellcasters? What are our water spellcasters? Who are our water spellcasters? Rush Duels has a co-promotion too. We have Justiciar. We have Justiciar. Let's go. We have our spell trap remove guy. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we don't have like a main water spellcaster deck, right? I can't think of one off the top of my head. But yeah, that's interesting. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe we're gonna get a really good water spellcaster deck, but I can't think of one for the life of me. Rush Duel has cross promotion with the Charmers. Yeah, I mean, of course. I'm opening Overrush Pack 4 after we're done with all this. So yes, of course. But yeah, that's it's funny that we have like we can name 2 good decks that could use this card, but the fuck is a water spellcaster? What are we doing here? What is a water spellcaster? All right, moving on. Hysteric Eyes, Harpies. Not like Harpies needed more good shit, but this is just good shit for everyone. Hysteric Eyes, when your opponent normal summons or sets from the hand, or when your opponent special summons a monster, choose up to 2 monsters on your opponent's field and change their battle position. If a ritual monster had its battle position changed by this effect, for the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of that ritual monster or monsters with the same name as that monster. Why? Why did we make this card? Why did we make this card generic? Why is this a card that we can just play willy-nilly in any decks? This is basically an upgraded Shiny Shady 2, in my opinion, right? Like, Shiny Shady only hits effect monsters, and even then, you know, like, it doesn't, that's all it does. It gives you life points if you get lucky, if you choose a high attack card. But, like, this can shut down entire ritual monsters. This can this plus a Lore Limey will shut down your entire Mad Fiend of Despair deck. Oh, you want to play your Dead Core? Nah, bro, nah. You're not allowed to Dead Core this turn. Rip all of your fusion choices and hope that your normal or that your high levels are enough to clear. But like, that's it. This is crazy. This is a gross card. This is a gross card to print. This is the apology for banning Harpy Lady 1, 2, and 3. I guess they could have just stopped. They could have just stopped printing Harpy cards. They could have just said, well, we felt bad, you know? Yeah. But even then, Harpies wasn't even being played that much anymore. So like I don't get it. I really don't get it. You know, like the Defiant Soul Necromate combos, I feel like those were the bigger issues. Harpy Ladies weren't even that big of a deal at the time. Like, I guess if they were to, you know, not ban 1, 2, and 3, but ban or do all the other things, then maybe Harpies might see a resurgence. But like, I don't know. This is too good. They should have just kept it in Harpies. They shouldn't have made it generic enough where any deck could play this and counter most ritual decks. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point. They want to give a better answer to ritual decks. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. Speaking of, we somehow still continue to get more Harpy cards. Harpy Raffinato is the newest Harpy monster that got announced. During the turn that this card is normal summoned, choose 1 Harpy Lady Sisters or 1 Winged Beast normal monster with 1400 defense in your grave and add it to your hand. This kind of sucks. Maybe I'm glad. Maybe I'm glad that this is the extent of what they're printing the Harpy Lady main deck monsters to be. This card does kind of just suck. This gets you a maximum piece. This can get you normal Harpy Lady, which I guess you can use for contact fusion, stuff like that. So it depends on what direction people take Harpy Ladies, right? What's going to be the strong version of Harpy Ladies, if anything? Right? They get they get a new monster. They technically get a trap card, but that's everyone's trap card. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this really does. I don't know if this does enough. All right, moving on. We're now moving on to hydrangea, right? That's not how you spell that word. Is it? Hydrangea? Oh, I guess it is. Yeah, Hydrangea, the Shadowflower Tea Master. Huh, I always thought that was spelled differently, but maybe I'm wrong. Huh. Anyway, when I first saw this card art, I thought this was I alongside some other people thought this was going to be Grace Princess support because we've seen too many cards that, you know, with the traditional outfits in a very similar position to this kind of where it is basically where it was Grace Princess stuff. But we were wrong. That's great. You can activate during the turn. This card was normal summon. Sorry, there's stuff in the way. Activate the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal them. You can choose up to 1 level 7 plant monster and up to 1 fusion among them and add them to the hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck. If you added 2 cards to the hand with this effect, you can choose 1 card in your hand and send it to the graveyard. I think this is good. I mean, Shadow Flowers, I haven't played too much against or with, but being able to add a level 7 and a fusion is really good. Being able to, because let's be real, you're going to need any chance to get your fusions in your hand as possible. That should be good. Honestly, I think this is just a really good card for the deck. Their fusion monsters are pretty strong for what they are, so I think being able to get them or get easier access to them is going to be great for the deck. But yeah. I don't have too much to say. I don't know the deck all that well, but it seems good, right? Like you can't really complain of being able to get 2 cards from your graveyard. So there you go. And now let me drink some water before we go into all the reporter cards, because that's going to take a while. Okay, now we're here with the reporters. We did know that we were going to get a lot of new support thanks to the tournament packs or the other packs that usually tell you what we're going to get support for in the future. But it is really cool that, you know, the reporters get all of these new stuff and they get a Maximum monster. So let's check it out. Reporter Wars Scoopies left. Declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. Activate the top card of your opponent's deck, reveal it, and return it to its original position. If that card is the declare type, you gain 400 life points. If this card is in maximum mode, then you can choose 1 card on your opponent's field and destroy it. So you have to get it right to even destroy the card, but you also have, you have to be in maximum anyway. But yeah, so there has to be more ways. There has to be more ways to get the right card on the top of the deck, basically, right? Next up is this is the centerpiece. Activate the top card of your opponent's deck, reveal it, and return it to. Oh, okay. So basically, cheat and then destroy something. Okay, yeah. Sorry. But if that card was a monster, this card gains 800 attack. If the card is in maximum mode, then for the rest of the turn, this card gains 1000 attack and its attack pierce. Yeah, because this is a level 4 maximum, or this is a not level 4. This is a maximum with 3000 attack. It's 1000 per 4. Okay, that's not bad. Sure. And then the right side, if there are 10 or more cards in your deck, your opponent excavates the top card of their deck, reveals and returns to the real position. So you can cheat twice. Okay. If that card was a monster, then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. Okay, that's pretty good. If this card is in maximum mode, then you can choose up to 2 hot off the press in your graveyard and place at the top of your deck in any order. That's not bad, right? Hot off the press. I'm going to click on this. Okay, is this the burn spell? It is the burn spell. Okay, shit, that's pretty good. Oh, I did that wrong. Reopen, close tab, go back 1. There you go. Okay. I can kind of see, yeah, so the general combo is being able to, you know, search or see what their top card is. You can then destroy it after you declare. And then if it's a monster, you get the bonus thing. But maybe there's other ways to make sure that a monster is the top card. It's crazy that this is the 3rd all-level 4 Earth Machine. That is wild, huh? They're like, Earth Machines, cool, but also make them all low-level and make them kind of ass. Like, the nostalgia for the Nostalgia for the gears, I thought was really cool. I really liked that it was the giant fortress guy, just horizontal. I thought that was a really cool concept, but unfortunately, the deck didn't really do too much just because you cannot make a deck. Because maximums suck. There's just not a good maximum deck, and I don't know how you balance a maximum deck to be, you know, strong but also not game breaking, right? Because like it takes so much resources to even get a maximum monster out. There's no easy way to do so unless for some reason they print a maximum monster that you can summon off of maybe a spell card, right? By using materials in your graveyard, right? Or a spell that lets you get every single piece and makes it really easy for you to special summon out. But like, you know, you brick your hand with a bunch of pieces that you can't use, then it sucks. You know, there's way too many restrictions and way too many bottlenecks for maximum to be good. I don't know how they're going to fix that. That's the issue. Anyway, next up is Reporter, Recorder, Terracoroid? What is this? Tape Recorder? Recoroid. Is that how they want us to pronounce it? Sure. Recoroid. Alright. During the turn this card is normal summoned. If there are 2 or more Earth Machine monsters in your grave, easy enough. You can choose a Reporter Raccoon or a Fusion in your grave and add it to your hand. Great. Then you can choose 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and place it on the top of the... Okay, so yeah, there you go. That answers my question of, are there better ways to guarantee what card is on the top of your opponent's deck? This is one of them. That's great. Reporter Lilum Castellin. Sure. Yeah, Castellin? Sure. Okay. Declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent activates the top card of your deck, reveals it, and returns it to the original position. If that card is the declared type, you can draw a card. Okay, not bad. If you draw a card for the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effect of Reporter Lilum. Interesting. I like that if you drew the card, which means if you guess correctly, then you can activate the effect again. But that means you can if you fail, if you're wrong, right? If this is like the first or second turn and you don't have any ways to guarantee you know what the top card is, if you have multiple copies, you can guess. You could be able to guess the card, and once you're right, you get to draw another one. That's kind of funny. That's obviously not what you should be doing, but I like that this is a possibility. Maximum monsters are bad in design because you have to draw all 3 to max. Yeah, right? And like, they've made ways to make it easier to get all 3 pieces, but then the maximum just sucks, right? Like, cool, you got your maximum monster out. It can still get destroyed, or like, if it doesn't have protection, that sucks. If it doesn't have bounce protection, it sucks. If it doesn't have high enough attack, which it probably shouldn't, but like, it'll hit over a monster, but then it gets like immediately destroyed afterwards, right? Like, there's way too many ways to, you know, remove a maximum monster nowadays that it just doesn't work, right? Because like, originally all of the OG maximum monsters were like it cannot be destroyed by trap effects, because they thought for some reason traps would be the only things that can destroy a maximum monster, which was true back then, sure. But now we have a bunch of other cards that can just destroy or bounce off whim, or on whim. Yeah, but anyway, you get what I mean. So like, yeah, it feels weird. It feels weird. We need variable middle pieces like what they did with the left and right. Yeah, I thought the Dynamix Maximum was a really cool idea. Being able to have multiple pieces like that is great, especially when the new pieces were, I mean, better than the old pieces, right? But like, it didn't mean that you shouldn't run some of the old pieces. I don't know. But like, yeah, you have to make the pieces, I think you have to make the pieces worth it by themselves, but also, you know, make it maybe make it game breaking when they are in maximum mode. I don't know. But I think doing low levels makes sense, because that allows you to be able to summon these normally and use them as tribute and get them out of your hand faster. And then you can bring them back later with, you know, some recursion or some recycle spell, right? It doesn't matter. But like, I think low level maximum pieces is the right way to go, unless you have some fancy way of cheating them out, like what the Dragonclads do. Did I read this one? Yeah, I did. Okay, next up is High Speed Machine Eng. ENG. It's not English, it's just ENG. Okay. Declare a card type, monster, spell, or trap. Your opponent activates the top card of your deck, reveals and returns it. If that card was the declared type, you can choose a Earth Machine monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. For the rest of the turn, you cannot activate it. Yeah, because I think there's just there's a lot of strong options here. Being able to choose any Earth Machine from your grave and add it to your hand does just open up, a realm of possibility. So great that this is hard once per turn, but it is a level 7. You can't cheat it out, but you at least will have the knowledge. If you use some of the lower level stuff, that's fine. Rampaging Machine Headhorn. Send one face down card in your field to the graveyard. One face down card in your field to the... Okay, sure. Choose one face down card in your opponent's field, reveal it, and place it on the top of your opponent's deck. So this, this can be monster, spell, or trap. That's really good here too, but it is a level 7, and you have to send one of your own face down cards. Is that worth it? Why would you even play a card face down if just for defense? Sure, okay. Super Special Edition Machine Toughroyd Flash, or Premium Printing Presser. Okay, it is PPP. All right, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. This card's name is treated as Printing Presser while in the graveyard. Send the top card of your deck to the grave. Your opponent activates the top 3 cards of their deck, reveals them, and places them back in their original order. Activate the top 3 cards. That's pretty good. You can choose hot off the press in your grave up to the number of monsters among them and add them to your hand. So we can still do the hot off the press burn. We can still do that stuff. And that'll be really interesting to see how many times we can do this per turn, because that's a lot of damage. But yeah, that would be really funny if, because like all of the high levels, yeah, are all 2500. The fusions I think are not that strong either, but I mean, hot off the press burn would be really funny if that's the main strategy of the deck, or like you can build it that way. Next up, we have Happy Journal. During a turn that you have not activated Happy Journal, if there's a face-up Earth Machine monster in your field, you can declare a card type. Your opponent activates the top 2 cards of their deck, reveals them, places them back in the original order. Draw cards equal to the number of cards of the declared type among those cards. It's rough that you cannot say monster and spell, right? If for some reason you somehow know that the top 2 cards are a monster and a spell, but you can also curate it to the point where you can make sure that there are 2 monsters or 2 spells or 2 traps on the top of their deck too. So it's not the worst, but it does feel bad that if you have the knowledge, you cannot predict 2 cards if they're different types. Next up is Special Edition Burn. Extra hot off the press. This card's name is treated as hot off the press while in the graveyard. Good that there are name changers. Does this burn? It does burn. Okay, so we have more ways to burn. That is good. Your opponent activates the bottom 3 cards of the deck and reveals them. Inflict 400 damage to your opponent times the number of monsters among them. Choose 2 of those 3 activated cards and place them to the top of your opponent's deck in any order. The remaining card is placed at the bottom of the deck. Really good, honestly. Especially if they have strong cards, you can send those to the bottom of the deck and then put any of the weaker ones at the top. And yeah, okay, that's not bad. I like that. And because this is hot off the press, that means that you can bring this back with any of the other cards, if it's in the graveyard. So maybe hot off the press burn is a viable strategy. Shit, okay, sure. And then finally, major breaking news. This card's name is treated as Soul of a Reporter while in the graveyard. So that's the other trap card. I don't remember what it does. But sure. During your opponent's main phase, when a card is sent to your opponent's grave, choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard and place them at the top of the deck in any order. Then you can special summon up to 2 Earth Machine monsters from your hand. From your hand to your field. Okay, sure. Sorry. I don't know how I feel about from the hand to the field. I guess if you have printing pressers or anything else, sure, that's fine, but alright. We'll see. I feel like this wave gave them too many high-level monsters. I'd play them as separate decks, one maximum focus, one fusion focus. I don't know if they want to do... Because there's only, like, what, one card in here that cares about it, the fusion? But also, I guess the fusion monsters have, you know, synergy as well with... okay. Sure, Hot Off the Press will probably be limited to one. If it becomes a problem, yeah. But if it's not an issue, then I don't know. I think it's fine. We'll have to see. I can definitely see this getting out of control if your opponent doesn't have a good way to counter this. But like you're right. There's 1, 2, 3 high levels here, plus all the plus the other ones, plus you know, if you want to go the fusion route, then you're gonna need fusions. You're gonna need all the other things. Yeah. Okay. And then moving on. Okay. I saved the actual main focus of the pack for last. Good job, past me. So now we do have a bunch of Udius support, Light Galaxy support, which is great. This is basically his box after all. But what's even better is this amazing full art Galactical Oblivion. Look at this. Look how cool it is. Look how sick it is. It's fighting. It's just so cool. It's like the anime. It's like in the anime, guys. They're fighting like they are in the anime. It's so cool. It's so cool. But yes, I like the card a lot. Hopefully we get to pull a full art today. We'll see. But fingers crossed. All right. Encetalus. That's what we're going for. Send the top card of your deck to the grave for the rest of the turn. This card's name becomes Interstellime. Then you can choose one Light Galaxy monster with 1000 attack or a fusion in your grave and add to your hand. If you do add, you cannot activate the effect of Enceladustime for the rest of the turn. Sure. This is good. Getting a fusion back, getting a monster back, or getting a monster back is never terrible. We'll just have to see what options we have, or, you know, what other stuff we get. Civil Twirider. Okay, sure. Shuffle 2 Galaxy monsters from your grave into the deck. For the rest of the turn, if you attribute someone like Galaxy monster in attack position, you can treat this card as 2 tributes. Then you can choose a Galactica Oblivion or Vanishing Heliacal Riser from your grave and add it to your hand. Wow, okay, so basically this gets you a Galactical Oblivion, or yeah, it gets you a fusion material. Okay, sure. That's pretty good. I like that. But you are shuffling from the graveyard to the deck. This kind of sucks. Late game, I think this is fine, but early, this kind of is a pain. If you need to special summon other stuff and then you're forced to do this. But okay, that's fine. Galactica Rising Oblivion is the new fusion monster. It looks very cool. Let's see. Galactica Oblivion, Bloodflush, Vanishing Helical Riser. Yep, sure. During your main phase, if this card was fusion summoned, shuffle all cards on your opponent's field into the deck. For the rest of the turn, you cannot attack except for this card. That's gross. That's really good. I mean, that's just funny. That's just funny. I can see this being a problem, but honestly, I think that's okay. I think that's... We'll have to see how easy it is to do, but yeah, I mean, getting hit for 32 for free does kind of suck. You have no way to defend against this. The only way to stop this is if you have cards that protect from being sent back to the hand, deck, or extra deck, which there are definitely quite a few of nowadays. So it's not impossible to have a counter to this, but that's not every deck, right? And like this is not even Sunset Rebirth protected, so okay. it's good that you can only use this once, quote unquote once, right? So like you can use this as a finisher, or if you somehow have a way to, if you have a very annoying board that you're up against, you can use that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Resurrection Helical Riser. Alright, this is using Vanishing and one level 4 lower light monster. Send the top card of your deck to the grave for the rest of this turn. This card's name becomes Vanishing Helical Riser. Okay. Then you can choose a level 7 Galaxy monster in your graveyard and special summon onto your field face up. For the rest of the turn, you cannot activate this effect again. So basically, this allows you to do the fusion summon again. Okay. Another way to get your fusion summon, out. Okay, sure. Interscrime requires 2 Interstellime, but there were 3 of them. I don't know why, but sure. Send the top card of your deck to the grave. Oh, there's a contact fusion too. So yeah, also pretty good. Fusion summon a light galaxy monster by sending a monster from your hand and or field to the grave as material, including this card. Basically, more ways to get out this guy. Sure. Okay. Oh wait. Oh no, it's this into this, which then you still need a fusion in hand to get to this. Okay, so this isn't just a guaranteed way to get into it. Okay. Wait, that's better. That's a little bit better. I was like, damn, we're really just creating multiple ways to just easily get into that guy. That could have been a bigger issue than it is, but it's still pretty strong, mind you. There are other cards that aren't in here, right? There are a bunch of old cards that can probably still get you fusions and everything else that you might need. Vanishing Attack. This is a normal spell card. If your opponent controls a monster, choose one Vanishing Helical Riser or Galactical Oblivion in your graveyard and special summon to your field face up. Jesus, there are so many ways to get your fusion materials on the field. Holy. And then Galactica Fusion Space is a field spell. Oh yeah, okay, never mind. Does it do the exact same thing? While this card is face up in the field zone, if either player fusion summons a light or dark galaxy monster with the effect of fusion, they can also use light or dark galaxy monsters in their hand as material. Wow, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, no, damn. These I think are a better support for light galaxies than I think what Dark Galaxy got recently. Am I crazy for saying that? Like, when it came to the Dark Galaxy stuff, the Eternal Requiem or whatever, the big boss guy didn't seem that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it had like, it was basically immune to everything, but that didn't mean that you couldn't remove it. You couldn't like still attack over it or, you know, debuff it enough and just hit over it. But like this guy, you can just wipe the field, hit for 32, and then if your opponent doesn't have a good way to respond back, you still have a 32,000 attack monster on the field. And then, even crazier, you can do it again. Right? Like, there's nothing stopping you, and you can buff it up with something, right? Like, there's plenty of cards that buff it. Maybe you add equips. Okay. Maybe you don't add equip spells, but like, yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting options. I think this is just really good. And you know, they said F it to Chaos Galaxy. We don't care about Chaos Galaxy, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. Okay, let me drink some water, and then we'll open up some boxes. We'll get some cards. We're hopefully gonna get a full art. Who knows? I just have to make sure I open up the right video capture device. Because if I'm wrong, this is gonna suck. But I don't think I'm wrong. It has to be this one. Haha! I'm not wrong. The lens is a little fish-eye-y, but that's because I'm using a webcam to do this. So it is gonna be a little bit weird. I apologize for that, but what can you do? Let me open up the list of cards so I can vaguely remember what all the cards are. Or probably someone in chat will be able to tell me as well. So whoever comes first. All right. Anyway, yes, so Overrush Pack 4 is finally here. It came out, I want to say, about a week and a half ago. Basically 2 weeks. And what makes the Overrush packs interesting is that they're mainly focused around... I think every single time has been focused around, you know, a nostalgic advanced format theme, right? We had Blue Eyes, we had Dark Magician Girl, we had Blackluster Soldier, and now we have the Charmers. Now, obviously, these were released in around the same time that the Charmers were being promoted back in the advanced format for the OCG, TCG. They had the whole Animation Chronicles, and, you know, while they were cool, once again, Animation Chronicles are not the anime. But, you know, it's cool that they're diving into some of these stories. But, yeah, Konami didn't want to leave Rush Duels out, so they decided to include them in the promotions this time around. And as an added bonus, they decided to add a new rarity and a new card type to the Rush Duel, I guess, pool. I don't know what the correct terminology is. We have full art cards now. And I talk about this. I opened 2 other boxes and I recorded them for a video, so I'll release that video soon as well. But I understand that people are excited about the overframes, right? And the overframes are very cool. Don't get me wrong. They are very nice, very, very pretty cards. But they're not full arts, all right? If we're talking about full arts, you've seen Pokemon, all right? You've seen what, you know, what Riftbound does, what Card Fight does. You know what full art cards look like. Overframes and Overrush rares are not that. All right, they come out of the frame, they take up a lot of like the upper 2/3 or however you want to, you know, separate the card layers. But they're not full art. They're not legitimate full arts. So every time, you know, and like, look, this is in jest. All right, this is me playing, and please don't, you know, take this out of context or anything. All these people saying, "Oh, we got full art cards." All these Yugi tubers saying, "Oh, we're opening up full arts." It's like, I know you're doing this because it's a clickbait title, but like, they're not full arts. They won't be, and I'm sure that the advanced format will get them. There's no reason why they wouldn't, but it feels weird, you know. It feels weird that they're pushing it so much, you know. They're like, yes, we finally got full art cards, and it's like, okay, whatever you say. Anyway, let's open them up. As you can see, we are using a box cutter. I don't know how people mess this up. I don't know how it's possible. I don't know how it's even possible for people to, you know, cut through their cards when opening these packs, specifically the Japanese packs, because there's so much space compared in a Japanese pack compared to, you know, the English packs, right? Obviously, the English packs are a bit smaller and stuff like that, but there's so much extra space at the top where if you somehow cut through this, you're being dumb. You're being dumb, and I hate you for cutting through that Grandmaster rare. Cause like, look, it's easy. You go 1, and then I'm just kidding. That would have been really funny. That would have been really funny if I somehow messed that up on the first time after talking all that shit. But no, we're good. Yeah, do I want to just put those in the corner and then just have them stack up? I guess so. All right, let's go through these. Damn, the camera is not that good. I thought, because I don't have a better camera to show these on, but that's fine. If we somehow get the full art, then I'll be really sad about it. Oh god, we're gonna have to figure something out. But yes, okay. First up is our Dead Core. Yeah, even my bad phone streaming cam, I feel like had a little bit of better quality than what this was. Oh, Focus, please. How do I make this focus? I have to configure video? Oh no, that does things that I do not understand. Can I change this? Oh, I can. Holy shit. Okay, so I think I would just hold it a little bit further back. Maybe. And then we have our fresh berry companion, or no, it's not companions. It's like they're meeting together. It's the level 5 fresh berry support. Next up, another rare. It's the guidebook or the spell book or whatever. Very fresh collaboration. Thank you. Yes, it's a get together. They're coming together to do things. That's what they're here for. Ooh, okay. I got a dead core as my secret. This is good. I actually am having a lot of fun with the Mad Fiends of Despairs. They're a very fun deck to play. There we go. But they do get absolute. Sorry. They do get absolutely bodied by Lord Limey. I was playing against a friend, and they had it in the side deck, and oh my god, it was embarrassing. It was like, oh god, what am I gonna do? And then another rare. It's the fusion, the speed fusion. I'm still surprised that they were like, all right, let's add this. Let's add the speed cards. You know, it's been long enough. It should be fine. It's like, yeah, true, but you know, why wait now? Why couldn't we have gotten this earlier? Pot of Greed, classic. And then the new plasmatic model, another Bilal. Always a fun one. Let's move on to the next one. Sky Saviors. Oh, we got the Peace Core. This is good. This allows me to get my ritual spells, or one of my ritual spells. See, we have Deadline. We have the Buster Blader stuff. We have the Lua. And then we have the the new Sky Savior trap. It is a bit surprising. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, right? Like I guess they're trying to catch up with all the anime decks because not all of them are that good. And so they're like, you know what? It's fine. Digrachion is our ulti. Great. Sky Savior defense. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see. And then we have the new level 6 Sky Savior, which then turns into one of my favorite Sky Savior fusion monsters. Still no sign of. So we've hit our secret. We're not getting another secret. We should be getting, I guess, 1 or 2 more ultis, I believe. Okay, well, there's our first one. We got the area, the water charmer as our as our charmer ulti. Glad that we at least get one of them, because imagine if we we somehow imagine if we somehow don't get any. Like this entire set, we don't get a single charmer or a spiritualist. That would be very sad. Oh, we got an Overrush rare. What will it be? Okay, we got Hida the Fire Spiritualist as our Overrush rare. Very nice. I would try and bring it closer, but I feel like that's not gonna help in terms of getting the full value of the card. It looks a lot, you can at least see it a lot better here. The foiling, the shatter foil, once again, you know, the texture of the card is very nice, I will say. Yeah, let's do it like this. We'll put the ultis and secret here, and then we'll put it here. So there goes our Overrush rare. I don't know what the chances are of getting a second one. I think it would have to be one of like the one of the really rare types. We have the Encounter with the Despair, I believe it's called. And then let's see what we get. Oh, we got the weird level 3 is it the generic themes? What is it? What are you called? Brastes? That's cool. I remember seeing the I remember seeing this card, right? Like if you were, I don't know if you were there, you were there, but they revealed the artwork for this card, or like the concept art, on April Fools. And so I was really confused. I was really confused because I didn't know if it was a real card or not. I don't know if we were getting getting April Fools pranked by Konami and being like, we're gonna release a card or the concept art of a card that might not even exist. You're like, okay, sure. Why not? But it took them a little bit, but they released it. It was very cool. Basically copycat. Oh, that's right. That's what this card was. Yeah, it was the pseudo copycat. Thank you. Yeah. And then finally we got the whale. Got the plasmatic model. Is it Cedo? I believe something like that. But okay. Those are our cards. Where are my card sleeves? Where did I put them? Oh, they're there. Okay. Let's see how lucky we get. Oh, nice. We got I gotcha my own card sleeves. They all look like this, but like on the back, they're some of the branded ones. They're not branded, but you know, you get what I mean. There you go. It does look nice. It does. They do look way nicer in person. I'm sorry that I don't have a functional streaming camera to be able to show you how good these are, but trust me, they are very, very nice. All right. All right. Let's see. I don't know what I'm hoping for because I don't want to spoil the video over what I got in the unboxing video that I'm working on right now. But I really don't know. I really like the in terms of Overrush rares. Like obviously, I would love to get a full art. I know that the chances are super slim, but if we can get one, I really do not care which one it is. I think it would just be really cool to have. But for Overrush rares, I love the end and dead end, or is it no, bad end. Those Overrush rares look really, really cool. And I love the Lovecraftian monster concept, I think it's just a really cool, theme, and I'm glad that it got its own full deck to play, and it's a pretty fun deck to play too. I'm really enjoying playtesting with it and just messing around. I'm hopefully going to be able to turn it into a video soon-ish. We'll have to see. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know if I really like the other decks. Sky Savior is kind of strong, but it runs into the problem of having too many cards. You know, like a lot of the cards are good, and like a lot of new cards are good, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's the first deck that I can think of that just has more fusion monsters than the space that it would need, right? So yeah, it definitely becomes an issue at that point. But I don't know, I'll just have to play with the deck a little bit more, because I'm hoping to be able to have a good, you know, solid couple of weeks with each deck to be able to better understand them and like see which ones I want to, you know, focus on. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, box number 2. Let's see if we can get something better. Oh yeah, there's also God packs in Overrush Pack 4. There are people who manage to successfully pull or have a pack that has all 4 full art charmers in it, which is absolutely incredible. I'm glad that they decided to do it that way, but I'm also glad that they also made sure that you can still pull a full art in normal packs, you know, in case you're not as lucky. All right, we got the Earth Elemental Spirit guy. Let's see, Sky Saviors. Oh, we got the new field spell! Hell yeah! Nice. So this is the first of its kind field spell that finally doesn't work for your opponent. This is a really cool card. Basically what this field spell lets you do is lets you draw 6 every turn instead of just drawing up to 5. And I think that's really cool. I don't know how broken that's going to be. Right now, it feels there's a few decks that I can definitely see them wanting to have more cards in hand each turn, right? That's but I don't know how, like, is it worth the deck slot? Is it worth, and like milling 2 cards is always worth it in my opinion, especially in rush duels, but I don't know how strong, you know, a card like this would be in like the meta. I'll have to, because like there's a few tournaments that have completed last week, or I guess this weekend, but I haven't really gotten a chance to look at all those deck lists. Maybe I do a stream where I go over tournament results too. Would that be something that people would be interested in? Like, you know, going through some tournament results on Twitter and stuff like that? Oh, that scared me. That scared me for a second. I only saw the top part and I was like, oh my god, did I? No. This is Overrush Volcano. This is the... I feel like this is like a really bad Overrush. Like, the card art is cool, don't get me wrong, but the effect kind of sucks. The effect of this card is kind of trash, but the card art is very cool. The card art is very cool. Let me pick it back. Let me pick it back up again. It does look really cool. All right, there's the volcano, all these dragons getting absolutely rocked. But yes, that gave me my heart stopped. I swear, my heart stopped when I didn't see like the usual card border. I was like, no way, no. Alas, it wasn't meant to be. Not yet. Then, okay, we got our water spiritualist area. I'm gonna start hating this Drago. I've seen it way too many times as the first card. Every time I open a pack, it's just there. This is what? Dead? It's not Deadlock. It's one of the lock ones, but it's not Lock Core. Is it Deadlock? Is that the right one? Because Lock Core is the fusion, so it has to be Deadlock, right? Oh wow, we got another Dead Core as our secret. Okay, okay, okay. I see. I see. This is the vibe of the 2 packs. All right, all right. Fine, fine. You've got me. You've got me this time. Alas, I guess it wasn't meant to be. We got the speed sniper guy. I don't think it's actually sniper, but who knows? All right, pot of greed again, which is good. I can finally replace some of my other legend spells because I didn't have a pot of greed in every deck that I have. At least in the side decks or something. We have the another Rising Blau. Let's see what else we can get. Nice. Okay, wait. So this is that's the Lock Core. So that has to be Lock Core. Okay. Finally, I actually hadn't gotten any of the Lock monster or fusions yet. So I'm glad that I finally have at least one copy of each one. Goodness. Ooh, we got the end. We got the end. The Mad Fiend. I don't know if the fusions are the Mad Fiend of Despairs, but we have the end. He looks really cool. I wish I got that in Overrush Rare, but it's fine. It's fine. I cannot complain. Oh, nice. Okay. Sunset Rebirth for the fans. Is it crazy that I don't have a normal copy of this? I only have the alt art version of the Sunset Rebirth. I don't think I have. Oh, actually, I might be lying. I might have a copy, but I have more copies of the alternate art Sunset Rebirth than I do the normal one. That I can guarantee. All right, and last pack. Oh, unfortunately, I do not think we're getting. We're not getting anything extra. I think this is all she wrote, folks. It is just the speed turn spell card. All right. So let's put all these away. We'll show off the cards one more time, and then that'll be it. I guess I can also show what cards I got. Maybe from the other 2 packs that I opened. But yeah, unfortunately, this one was a bit of a bust. We didn't get anything too fancy here. But at least the card art does look good. And I will be using these secrets for my Mad Fiends. So that's good. They at least gave me some of the cards that I needed. In terms of utility and in terms of cards that I would need, this is an A. In terms of cards that I want, it's not an A. It's not an A. It's 0 A whatsoever. But hey, I'm just glad to be able to have the opportunity to open packs. You know, it's always fun. I always enjoy doing these. The only issue is just recording. And it turns out this camera is not that good at doing that. So I need to find a different camera or find something else that I can use to be able to record these a little bit better. Because like I want you guys to also appreciate how beautiful these cards are. Right? Like most Yu-Gi-Oh cards are very nice. They're very pretty. But like I feel like Rush Duels just does it a little bit better. because like it just looks nicer in my opinion. All the cards that we've seen, you know, they're all very pretty, and I just want more people to be able to recognize that, you know. There you go. Here's our Overrush Volcano. And then we double sleeve it because we care. And we don't want the cards to be destroyed or damaged in any way possible. Oh, I put this in the wrong way. Actually, I have a question. When you guys double sleeve your cards, do you put the open side of the inner sleeve inside to form like a pseudo seal, and then you just like squish the air out? Or do you put when you double sleeve, do you just put them open mouth both sides? Is there a right way? Is there a wrong way to do that? Because like I've always done it like as a seal, right? I've always put it so that the open side of my inner sleeve goes inside, and then I just, you know, squish it down, get rid of all the air, and then I just leave it as it is. But I can definitely see the point of doing it the other way so that you won't have to deal with that problem. But like, I also feel like it makes it easier for the cards to get like damaged, right? If accidentally liquid gets sprayed or something, you know, a double open side card would easily get hit with the water. But like in this way, there's a less of a chance, but maybe that's being greedy. I'm not sure. And then finally, we'll have our dead core. There you go. Put our rares on top. All right, so for our first box, what did we get? We got Hida as our Overrush rare and Overrush Volcano. So both pretty hot in terms of temperature. Next up for our secrets, they're the same secrets. That's crazy. We both got 2 dead cores, which is good because you really do want to run 3 copies of dead core anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And then for our ulties, we have 2 staples, a charmer, the plasmatic, and then Digrachion and the end. So not too bad. Not too bad overall. All right, I shouldn't say staples. I guess 2 generics is more of a correct term. But yeah. I like them a lot. There we go. Fortunately, there you go. Oh, you can kind of see him. Yes. You do it both ways? Okay. Yeah, I honestly don't know if there's a right way. I haven't really talked with a lot of people about it. They have their ways, I have my way, and I don't think anyone has ever said anything about it to me. So I guess I can keep doing it the way that I've been doing it, and it should be okay. But yeah, that's like the big thing, right? Like, it's just personal preference on how you want to handle your cards, because no one else is going to. No one's going to handle your cards the way that you handle your cards, right? And so, like, you know, do it in the way that you want your cards to be treated, and hopefully, you know, people will have to respect that. All right. There you go. Let me get my book, my binder. Cuz I want to see actually maybe I should do a binder video too, huh? A binder video of all my Overrush rares. That could be interesting. I'm sure that might be something people would be interested in seeing, because I've definitely collected a lot. And there's definitely a lot of copies. Like, there's a lot of reflection, but here's my first page. I have 3 copies of the freaking Mjolnir. Those were the days. Those were the days. But yeah. Okay, cool. I was checking to see if I got any Overrush, or if I got any duplicates from Overrush Pack 4, and I'm glad to say I didn't. No duplicates. We're good. We're good. I think that's like that's a first for me. For anything larger than 2 boxes, I finally didn't pull a duplicate. Go me. All right, let me put those in the binder for now. I will say one thing that I don't have a lot of are the alt arts, or like the secret alt art, or like secret rares or ultra rare, or secret rare or overrush rare alt arts. Those are ones I do not have a lot of. I only have a few of them, but yeah, nothing too wild. Oh, I can also I can use this time to show off. I did get a couple boxes of the limit over collection, and I managed to get one of the in my opinion the coolest full art outside of like the Dark Magician girl. While this isn't Grandmaster, obviously, I'm still really happy that I managed to get the shiny full overframe of Utopia, or of the retrained Utopia. Yeah, those are pretty cool. He's ready to high five this guy. Yeah, I mean, I really love the design, and I love how the light attribute is like perfectly in the little shine of the sword. I think that's just a really cool thing that they did there. I guess I can try and show the other ones as well. You'll also see my Hololive stuff that I'm saving for when the event happens, when the concert happens later in the year. But yeah, I guess I can take them out. I guess I'll use this time to show them off. We have the Red Dragon Archfiend one. We have the Galaxy one. These are only in Ultras. I don't have them in the Prismatic rarity. We got Astrograph. We got Gaga. And then finally, Winkaribo, the goat. So yeah, those are my overframe pulls. Nothing too wild there, but they do look good. I will say, I really like the art. I like the art a lot. There we go. So I'm really glad that they're continuing to do this. There's hopefully the TCG regions will also get Grandmaster rares. I feel like it'll be very, I don't know if they're going to separate it by regions, right? Or how they're going to separate it by regions, but that would be really cool for us to be able to get, serialized versions of the cards. The lines between Rush Duels and the main game, they're blurring, but not that fast. I feel like I'm okay with the fact that, or I'm glad and probably okay with the fact that they're not combining any of these or doing any weird cross promotion type things where, you can use Rush Duel cards and they're not doing the thing that they did with Speed Duel. I'm glad that they're not doing that. Rush Duels is its own separate game. It shouldn't be, it shouldn't have anything apply to the advanced format, right? None of the cards are good in the advanced format. Rush Duels is a way lower power format anyway, so that's totally fine. I think people just like the monsters and wish that, some of the support, or at least the card art, is being applied in the advanced format for their decks, which I understand. That definitely sucks when you see, cool ass Red Eyes support, and Red Eyes has, continuously been really bad in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, yeah. Oh yeah. I also have 2 copies of the Rivalry of the Warlords, which are in the Prismatic, and I'm so sad about that because how did I get 2 copies of the same freaking Prismatic? So tilting. I was tilted off my mind. But yeah, I really only have 3 or 4 pages of Overrush rares. You would think I'd have more, but that's a lot of boxes already as it is. So maybe I'm glad that I don't have that many. But okay, yeah, all right, that'll be it for me today. That is everything that I wanted to do. Good unboxing stream. I'm gonna get back and continue working on my recorded one with the video and everything, which will look a lot better. I'm using my phone camera for that, for the recording, and it looks so good. It looks way better than this, so I'm gonna continue working on that. Maybe eat a little bit. We'll see. I'm not that hungry, but I probably shouldn't be eating this late anyway. But yes, thank you so very much for everyone who stayed, everyone who joined and left and lurked or anything. I really appreciate it. This was a very impromptu stream, I will admit. This was not something that I was planning. I didn't schedule anything. I don't really schedule these streams anyway. I don't really stream that much as it is, because most of my time is either stuck with work or being obsessed with other games. I'm playing TFT a lot right now. Just hit gold yesterday, which was very nice. We'll see how much farther I can get, but first I have to work. I have to edit. I have to edit things. I have to record things. I have a new video coming out. A new Rush review video coming out on the Spark Hearts, hopefully by the end of the week. And then, yeah, I'm going to try and get back onto making shorts as well. And yeah, that's the plan. Thank you all so very much for watching. This has been Protagonist signing out for today. And I will see you all next time. Alrighty. Peace.